Hello and welcome to week 16 of the advanced full distance program from Scientific Triathlon. I hope you're doing well and that your training is going well and that you're still enjoying it. This week we do a short little mini block of aerobic capacity training, basically to simply not lose touch of that high-end power, high-end speed, keep that VO2 max topped up, not just by all of the volume that we're doing, but also through at least a little stimulus of intensity. Basically, the principle of reversibility, use it or lose it. So you want to be using that high end or you will lose it. This is not a result of simply just VO2 max, because as I said, VO2 max can be built through volume of training. It doesn't have to mean high intensity, but it's important for muscle fiber recruitment purposes to not let some of those really fast twitch fibers just sit out the entire season, so to say, by not being used, because they can have a role to play if you call upon them every once in a while. You can actually teach them to work better in an endurance phenotype as well, but that requires you to use them, and using those fast twitch fibers requires some high intensity. So that is the rationale here for a little mini block of aerobic capacity before next week we head into first some rest and recovery and then transitioning into race specificity. And this week is not easy by any means, but it is probably going to be slightly less demanding than the previous couple of weeks because volume is down. We're doing 16 hours this week, and the range, depending on adjustable duration workouts, is from 13 hours 55 minutes to 17 hours. So we're down from 19 hours in the last week. And you have the first 2 days of the week are really, really easy, with a super short and optional easy ride here to start the Monday. So feel free to take it off if you feel that you really want to recover and focus on that. You should not feel any guilt over skipping that. And the same goes just as usual for if you feel that you would benefit from shortening the adjustable duration workouts, then please, by all means, do so. And note that we have, in the previous aerobic capacity block that you did, you were used to doing one high intensity interval workout per discipline, one swim, one bike, and one run. But actually this week, since it's just like a mini block of training, we're switching it up and we're doing 4 high intensity interval workouts. So on Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday and Sunday, we're adding that second bike on the Sunday. The reason that we're doing it on the bike is that it's fairly safe, and it's also one that a lot of athletes can manage to do even under fatigue. And finally, because the bike is one of the most important, well, it's more important than the swim certainly in the Ironman, but and we don't want to do 2 high intensity runs this week because we haven't built up to that amount of intensity and that frequency of intensity. The bike is the logical choice, simply. Note that if you know yourself so well that you think that, okay, I'm not going to do 4 high intensity workouts in a week, I know I won't be able to do that, then okay, that's fine. Just change this Sunday interval workout for an endurance ride. But I think for most users of this plan, it will actually, the way that the plan is structured and the way that the week is structured, it should be possible. So I would encourage you to go into this week with an open mind. And I think that you can do it given the nature of the high intensity workouts and the nature of the week as a whole. So, but again, if you know already from the start that, yeah, that's not a good idea for you for whatever reason, as always, you are the CEO of your own athletic progress, and the plan is just a tool in your toolbox to help you along on that journey. So you take the decision that you feel is best for you. Then let me see here. In terms of workout highlights, the non-interval workouts are mostly just easy or endurance workouts, so we don't need to go into them too much. And even in terms of the duration of them, like we don't have anything very long even, so it's quite an easy week from that standpoint. Let's look at the interval workouts specifically. So first, on the bike, we're doing blocks, 3 blocks in this workout, and each block is 7.5 minutes long, consisting of 10 times 30 seconds at 120 to 130% FTP, and 15 seconds just an easy spin recovery. 15 seconds is very short, so essentially we're looking at 7.5 minutes of work with mini breaks scattered in between, but they won't feel long at all. So that's why the power target is set the way it is as well. Many might be tempted to start this workout as much higher, like go out and do smash 140% or even 150% for the first few reps, but keep in mind that you should be able to finish this workout at a similar level to what you started it at. So, and there is a fair amount of work to be done here. So I would be a bit cautious with doing that. I would recommend most people to just stick to the pace target or power targets, at least do that in this first block and see how it feels after an entire block of it, and then you can make an executive decision on whether you need to change that for the second and third blocks. But yeah, it's always better to ease into things a little bit, or at least start slightly conservatively, and then find that you have more in you so you can increase rather than start too hard and then blow up spectacularly. So yeah, that's this workout. These shorts are quite fun and enjoyable in a weird way. They're of course very hard, but they're not quite as brutal as just going the relentlessness of 4-minute intervals. So I think that you might enjoy this. On the swim, we're doing 50s, but we're doing a lot of them, and this is quite a lot more than you have done before. So 1,500 meters of work in this plan. I mean, I don't know what you have done before this plan, but 1,500 meters of hard work of 50s at best average effort. Keep in mind, and I'm sure you've learned this already in this plan, that 50 meters sounds very short, and it is very short, but it can be very long when you're going very hard and are very tired. So you shouldn't sprint like a bat out of hell in these 50s to start off with. You need some semblance of pacing to be able to get through this workout and finish it strong at a similar split that you started it, which is the goal of this workout, to be able to do a best average effort, best average time, best average pace, whatever you want to call it. So keep that in mind. It shouldn't be, if we're talking about effort levels, 100% being an all-out sprint, you should be more in that 90 to 95% region and not in that 100% region, because then if you are in that 90 to 95% region, then you'll be able to finish the work for sure. But if you're not, then you won't, and it will be ugly and tough towards the end. And then we have the run, and the run is similar to the bike, but instead of 30 seconds on, 15 seconds off, just because the run is slightly more intense and also slightly more risky, and for many reasons we choose to do 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off rather than 30 15s. There's nothing wrong with 30 15s. You could do them. It doesn't make that big a difference in the grand scheme of things. That's a tiny detail, but that's the rationale behind planning 30 30s. But what that also means is that we can do a little bit more work. So we're actually doing, these blocks are 12 minutes long in total, and the recovery between them is 5 minutes. So you're going to do, in each block, you're going to do 6 minutes of very hard work at 108 to 112% of your threshold pace. So basically the prescription is to do it at 5K to 3K race pace. So that tells you where you should be. And if you're feeling good, then I wouldn't hesitate to tell you to, all right, shoot for the 3K race pace rather than the 5K race pace. But yeah, again, the same thing applies. Pace yourself into it. There's 36 repetitions of 30 seconds to do. So if you start too hard, you will feel it at the end. There's no doubt about that. So if you ease yourself into the first 3 or 4 or 5 repetitions, and that helps you then get a good pacing going for the entire workout, then that's well worth it. Well worth investing those 4 or 5 first repetitions into easing yourself into it to have a good quality workout in the rest of the session. But I hope that you enjoy this week. That's it from me for this week. And yeah, have a good one, and I will talk to you next week.